On a strange planet, a monstrous vulture lands to feed on a hand, however, that suddenly grabs it by its throat. Then Riddick emerges from under the grave. He crawls with his fractured leg under the burning sun. He is searching for water. But sadly the little pond isn't apt for consumption. Feeling great pain from his fractured leg, Riddick takes a nap to rest his tired body. When he wakes up, he decided to start putting his foot between two rocks and painfully fixes his broken leg. He screams and cries, and his scream is heard by the group of jackals. They look like a beast, and a group of jackals appeared in front of him. Riddick backed away and he fell into the pond, which is some kind of eel. After pushing them away, Riddick concentrates on slowing down his heartbeat. Jackals think that he is drowned and die, so they go away. When Riddick comes out from the water, he is shocked to see there's still a jackal left. Watching the jackal's face, Riddick tests a theory and throws a piece of armor, which the jackal immediately run for it, confirming its behavior like a dog. After that, he tries to fix his leg by using his armor. After that, Riddick makes his way to explore the planet. Finding nothing, he only saw rocks and sand. Finally, he found a cave with clean water, but his rest was interrupted again by jackals. When the jackals come closer, a mud demon came out and brutally attacks the pack leader, killing it in seconds and scaring the other jackals away. After that, the mud demon attacks Riddick and starts fighting. He managed somehow with the other and uses a chance to run away. The sky is getting dark, so Riddick starts exploring the planet until he finds an obelisk which he pushes to the ground, so he can use for covers and sleep. That night, Riddick dreams about how he ended here. He used the Lord Marshal of the Necromonger Empire, which granted him power and the women he wanted. One night when Riddick was checking all his guards were in place, one of his concubines attacks him from the back, but Riddick simply scolded her and killed her with the same knife. Afterward, Commander Varko and Captain Krona came to check on him and found his throne covered in blood. Riddick announced he wanted to return to his own planet Furia, and when Captain Varko said all the charts to that place were destroyed, Riddick threatened him with the knife, making him confess the only remaining map was in his head. Then Varko and Riddick make a deal. Varko would guide Riddick to Furia, and in exchange he got the throne so he could reach something called Transcendence. A few hours later, Krona took Riddick Furia, but as soon as he got there he tells this is the wrong place, it was a trap. Krona's soldier attacks Riddick, but he is more powerful. He kills everyone one by one. Krona tries to kill him with his laser gun, but Riddick hides behind a rock. Then Krona realizes they were on a cliff, and he shot into the cliff's whole rocks crumbled down and Riddick fell into the desert, leaving him to die. Back in the present, Riddick wakes up and continues to explore the desert. On his way he discovers the jackal's leader left behind a bunch of puppies. Riddick takes one of them and uses bones to make a cage. He feed the puppy to grow and trained him. Sometimes a group of jackals tries to approach the cave, but Riddick establishes his territory. He took a mud demon's poison and injects himself and puppy. Each day they take a small dose so their bodies can get used to it. One day Riddick climbs to the cliff and discovers the other side of the planet. He found greenery and water, but to get there he needs to cross the mud ponds which are filled with demons. He jumps into the pond and start fighting with demons. Somehow they both manage to escape from there. Now the jackal's puppy is grown and he is a good boy. One day he finds something for Riddick. It's look like a golf ball. It means humans were here in the past. Following this clue they both continue their journey. Eventually they find a station P7, which is base of mercenaries and bounty hunters. He takes some useful tools and some food packs, but their food isn't good. He gave food to the puppy, but he also don't like and pees on it. The sky suddenly gets dark with clouds. At first Riddick thinks it's a rainstorm and it's a good thing, but the jackal growls. Riddick uses his special eyes power to notice a horde of mud demons. He understands why people don't stay on this planet. Riddick goes back to the station and activates the beacons that scan him as wanted and send a signal to the mercenaries. Later Captain Santana and his mercenary crew arrive. They search the station but don't find Riddick. They only saw a message written on the wall with blood telling them to leave the ship or die. After that, crew sets up camp installing the sensor that will warn them of approaching enemies. They have a prisoner inside the ship. Santana orders them to leave her to make room for when they catch Riddick, but she begins to run fast, but Santana kills her in one shot. Riddick sees this from his hiding place. He knows Santana comes here for him. Santana says he will take his head in this box. At that moment a ship of bounty hunters arrives which is led by Boss Johns. Santana sent them a message that the place is taken, but they land anyway. After that an argument starts about who is going to stay here, but Boss Johns agrees to let Santana handle Riddick until he needs his help. Santana points at Riddick's message, and reveals he'll lock up his nodes in a locker with a bombing mechanism to prevent Riddick from stealing his ship. And John sends Dal to do the same even if she is wary of the idea. At night Dal informs John that the usual traps are missing from the base. Suddenly the sensor finds something and the crew sees the pet jackal. They try to kill him, but the animal escapes from the shot just in time. Everyone is distracted. The jackal pulls one of the sensor's nodes, and Riddick makes a bunch of noise at the cliff, causing the machine to malfunction until Santana turns it off. Santana sends his soldier to check the sensor nodes, but the soldier catches into Riddick's trap. With broken legs, he crawls painfully. Then Santana sends 2 more soldiers. The duo fires in the dark. All shots miss while Santana only hears their voices. The next morning, the soldiers came back with 2 bodies left by Riddick, and 1 is still missing. Santana sweeps the area to take out the trap. Then he has no choice and he asks John to join. Then Dal hit him couple of times and Johns take full control of the mission. He only said he needs some information from the Riddick, and then Santana take his head up for the bounty. The crew find Jackal and Dal shot him and implant a tracker in his leg. They track Jackal on jet bikes and reached in cave.I. In the dark, they glow their weapons light. They saw a person and shot in the darkness. They realize they brought here for purpose. On the base, while Dal was taking shower, suddenly a hand comes out from the broken window. But when Dal turns around, it's already gone and her mirror is missing. She came out and sees Santana. She thinks he was Santana watching her when she was taking bath. While the others look around the ship, Riddick is already on the top using a mirror. He discovers the nodes are missing from the ship. Dal gets a message to the people from the cave. They are saying Riddick will be at the base. Dal orders Santana to go after him. However, Santana responds by hitting her, while Riddick watches them from the ceiling. Boss Johns comes back to the base. When they were busy fighting, Riddick left a message on the wall with blood saying, "Fair trade." Santana wants to open the locker and John is worried. Makes everyone takes out their weapons. John said calm down. They manipulated by Riddick's mind game. They let Santana pens the locker. Santana enters the code and slowly opens the locker. Everyone take a breath. Nothing's explodes. The nodes are still in the locker. While the group discusses what to do next, a soldier heard a noise and come to check. Suddenly he grabbed by Riddick. The other soldier notices his friend is missing. He tries to searches him, only to find him alone and frozen in fear. The soldier informed them Riddick is around. The crew discovers the nodes are missing. Riddick buried the nodes in the desert and notices the storm getting closer, so he must do something. Using the radio from the body he left in the cave, Riddick contacts with the group and asks to parley. After dropping their weapons, Riddick meets with Johns, Santana, and Diaz away from the base. Johns asks Riddick about the mission where his son died, but Riddick refused to answer, and instead promised to bring back the nodes if they give him 1 ship. Then he leaves, giving the crew time until rain comes and make their decision. Furious Santana tries to fire on Riddick, but his jackal attacks on Santana and make him fail. Riddick tries to save his pet, but Dal attacks on him far after first one done nothing, but the bunch of them makes Riddick weak, and Santana kills his pet. They take Riddick on the base. When Riddick wakes up, he saw himself tried with chains at base. Johns asks him about his son, but Riddick refuses to answer it. Furious Johns start beating Riddick at the moment it starts raining, and John gives up on Riddick and lets Santana makes his head. When Santana tries to strikes, the sensor warn them of danger. Mud demons comes outside and killing soldier one by one. John closed all the doors, but the demons moves on the roof and grabs one of the soldiers. Riddick laughed and said, "I'm the only one who knows how to fight with demons." Johns finally agrees to give him a ship in exchange of his help. Being Riddick freeing Santana wants his head for the bounty, while Dal try to beat him, but the other mercenary catch her. Santana goes for Riddick's head, but with one free leg he kicks Santana, and then his blade causing it to cut Santana's head, which falls right into the box. They start fighting with demons with guns and shooting on them, while soldiers are dying with monsters' venom, while Dal and the last soldier stay protected. Then John, Diaz, and Riddick leaves on the jet bikes for nodes. Riddick uses his special eyes power, which helps to drive fast without getting caught and damaging it in the process. When they almost reach there, Johns is sideswiped by Diaz and his bike crashes. Johns hears a noise and starts shooting in the dark. Luckily Riddick comes to pick him before demons kill him. While Riddick is digging for the nods, he starts talking about John's son. He says boy is get addict, he wants to kill an innocent kid for money to his substance. John refused to believe his son had been the bad guy. Finally, when Riddick find nodes, Diaz come and attacks on him. Riddick is more powerful, high caught him and kick him away as Diaz took out his laser gun. Riddick kills him with his blade. Accidentally his falling body shoots one of the bike. Now Johns and Riddick fight together as a team to kill demons. While Johns is safe with his gun at the distance, Johns take nodes and run away. Then Riddick takes a hot glowing rock and use it painfully for cauterize his wounds. He tries to climb on the cliff, but a stubborn demon don't let him go. When the demons is going eat Riddick, then suddenly something comes and kill him. He is Johns and crew who killed every demon by using ship's cannons. Then Dal came like an angel and pick Riddick up. Then Riddick takes Santana's ship and say goodbye. When he makes it to Fortress, he saw Krona praying in the throne room. He understand it was him who betrayed, not Varko. He stabbed Krona from behind and kill him. Kibine asks if Varko is dead or alive, but she says both. Then Riddick walks to the glowing window and notice Varko has entered and achieved transcendence.